I'm unpausing this, so we're actually recording now. That's cool, right? So here's how it's going to work. We're going to do a cold open. I hope the gang in the Arcadosphere is listening right now, because they're like, what the heck's going on here? These guys are so unprofessional. And we'll do the cold open. We'll do the intro.
Yep.
And then let's get to some introductions. Right?
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, hang tight. Listen for your cue, everybody. Let's go.
Push the button, Adam. Push the button.
Is anybody hearing that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Because that sounded really funny to me. This is so unprofessional. Like, my soundboard is not recording.
I can't hear anything either there.
So it's just been like silent for 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be awesome. Anybody listening to YouTube right now? Because if you are listening, call into the show. Okay, yeah, nobody's listening. All right, so I'm going to try something here. Okay, this thing off. And then this thing on here. Turn off this block. Turn on this block. Try this. You guys hear that?
Yep.
Heard that.
Sweet. Let's have a little crank call again. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Credit Card Fraud Alert calling, and we recently discovered some unauthorized charges on your credit card. And to rectify the situation, we'll need you to wire $5,000 to the account number listed below.
Listed. How can I see it? You're calling. How can I see a listed number?
Damn it, it was going so well.
From KOYR Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it's Arcade Radio.
Hello, Commander. Computer reporting.
Intruder alert, intruder alert. Stimulating opponent.
Well, welcome to the show. This is episode 2. Did you guys hear a bunch of ringing?
Yeah, I thought you were getting a call there.
I'm getting like 10 calls. I don't know what's going on, but I need to figure out how to turn that stuff off. This is messed up. We're gonna have like a whole show. Like, how do you disable people from calling into the show?
you just literally told people.
I know. I'm like,
show.
Come on, call us at, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna, and they're obviously listening, which is like super awesome. But everybody, don't call in right now, okay? Because we're just trying to have a show. So I appreciate you calling in, but I'm not answering the call. I don't care who you are. Oh, jeez. Are you? You gotta be kidding me. This is like my worst nightmare. And whoever you are, I'm calling you back in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. Just so you know. Okay? Leave a message. Really. Seriously. This is comedy, right? Comedy for... Hi, it's me, Ryan, your first caller. Okay, I'll call you back in a minute. Stop calling me, Ryan. Really appreciate it, but just don't call in yet. We are totally unequipped to handle this call. Hey.
Poor Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan is awesome. Ryan,
You just screwed Ryan.
I totally did. Like, I'm like the jerk that's like, call in, don't call in. You know what I mean? Hey, welcome to the show, Rick.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, get a little closer to your mic. Just want you to say, because I'm going to be like 10 times louder than you. So talk loud. Nice to hear you. Nice to have you on the show. You are our second guest, and you actually brought a guest with you, John Christensen, or Padawan John, as we like to call him.
Hey,
right?
everybody.
Hey. So, Rick, why don't you tell us what you're up to these days?
The usual, working on arcades.
Sweet.
Pretty much doing custom arcade work.
So I met Rick at MGC this year. Last year, really. What was it this year?
Yep.
It's this year, right?
Earlier this year, yep.
Yeah, so it's cool. Bought a couple of so-so cabinets for me. I don't know if you've done anything with them, so that's cool.
No, not yet. Sitting in storage.
Excellent. Well, I know you have a lot of work, so but we're having you on the show because you're into the restoration hobby, and Padawan John, you're kind of new to the hobby, so that's kind of cool, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Dan, welcome to the show again. This is our episode 2. We're ready to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just so ready to go. I can't even take a phone call. So, tell me what you're up to.
What I am up to? Let's see. What did I do today? I worked on Donkey Kong Remix cabinets. I'm pretty much done with.
I'm having some trouble with my remix kit, actually.
I talked to a couple friends in town here who work for Williams Entertainment. Same Williams that made arcades back in the day. And they're going to help me work on Ralph's Revenge, which is the sequel to Fix-It Felix.
Okay.
Just a little thing that we're doing ourselves. No Disney license or nothing. They'll probably come after me, actually. But it's just a little fun project we're doing ourselves. What other projects am I working on? Simpsons Tapper. That one is, I got a guy right now working on the ROMs to complete it, to make it so it's correct, so it has all the Simpsons characters, the title screen and stuff.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And what else? Retro Pi. Kind of, it's arcade related, but you know the Raspberry Pis and the Retro Pi. That's come a long ways, and I'm working with Brian at Paradise Arcade Shop to make JAMA adapters and HDMI to CGA BGA adapters for that.
Side note, Brian will be on the show in hopefully a couple weeks. Right, Dan?
Awesome. Great guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good friend of mine.
Yep, that's pretty much what I'm working on right now.
Cool. Padawan John, what do you got going here?
Well, lately I've been working with Rick. I'm doing 4 different cabinets. I'm doing a Pac-Man, actually a Miss Pac-Man, a Galaga, Captain America and the Avengers, and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Rick and I recently redid the art for Captain America. He came up with a pretty awesome design, and mine is the first one to have that, and it's created a bit of a buzz. It's a really good-looking cabinet, so we're kind of excited about that.
That's super cool. Rick, is it full cabinet art that you did for
full
John?
cabinet art. I took, you know how the Captain America art only goes halfway down? I pretty much took that art, redid it, and made it so it goes complete, full sides. And then I made a kick panel. It's pretty much the Captain America shield is the kick panel, and just doing some custom stuff, make it look a little prettier.
That's cool.
But yep.
So,
I was gonna say awesome, but that's your word, right?
I was trying so hard not to say awesome. I mean, when you do the artwork, what makes you decide to do like original versus like totally custom?
It's pretty much my competition. I mean,
that's awesome.
They all do the stuff that, I got some good competition. I'm friends with most of them, and they all do some awesome stuff. But I like to go more outside the box and just kind of do something different than them. If I can offer something different than them, it helps me for sales, for one. Because we're all selling the same product, and now we're all just kind of stealing from each other, pretty much.
Cool.
But if I can do something different, I can, make a few other people happy and make some sales. So it seems to be working. People like the custom stuff.
John?
I'm definitely not a purist.
Are you okay, John?
Yeah.
Sounds like
he had his hand on the mic.
Sounds like you may be
That was
falling
getting
asleep.
pretty exciting over here. I don't know. What'd you stop him from?
I was like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just trying to not get the echo.
Thinking about his Captain America cabinet.
Impressive.
Oh, John. Oh, yeah. So anyway, just be careful about being on your mic. If you're not talking and you want to mute, that's cool. But otherwise, just don't breathe into the mic when poor Rick is trying to tell a story. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. So I did it. I said that's awesome. Oh, I said it again. People are starting to get drunk right now. I know it. So, custom versus yeah. So by the way, nobody makes Popeye control
Stop
panel.
it, Popeye. Nobody cares. Just stop. Stop.
Hey.
Nobody cares about Popeye.
What? And I had to go through the I don't even know where we are in the show, and I'm gonna have to go through and find and beep this before it goes on iTunes. I
Popeye control panel over
listen. Yeah. So tell me about that. It's nobody makes that. You make that.
3 of them, and maybe this year so far.
One for me.
One was for me, and then I have 30 control panel blanks, so I can make you one if you want one.
I have one. You made one for me. It was awesome.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
You're one of them?
And the great thing is
yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, I've made about 3 this year.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm a third of your product line.
Awesome.
So, do you find that's a problem? What do you sell the most of?
What do I sell the most of? Should I say this on the air? Fix It Felix stuff, probably.
But that's not a problem, right?
If Disney's listening, it could be, but.
Oh. Well, I guarantee you Disney has no idea this show exists. So, you're
they actually came after me when I first released the Disney stuff. Yeah. And they were really cool about it, as long as I don't sell stuff on my website. They're like, just do your own thing. I mean, yeah, it was interesting. I got an interesting email.
So I appreciate the product you make, and thank you very much for the Popeye overlay. I love it. It was legit too, because you sent it to me, and nobody else makes it, by the way, Ray. So there's Mike. He's got some Nintendo stuff. I bought stuff from him in the past, and it's cool. And you sent me the thing, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I paid whatever for it. I can't remember what it was, but you sent it, and I know it's solvent inkjet, right? Is there a solvent inkjet? Is that right?
Yep.
So that's cool. I get it. Comes in the mail, very well packed, by the way. And as an addition, you threw in a first generation instruction sheet that goes on there as well. So that's kind of cool. So nice surprise. I didn't know that was coming. And when I have an original Popeye. I bought it, and the overlay's cool. But when I went to go take apart and rebuild the control panel, the silk screened art stuck to the wood.
Wow, haven't seen that happen yet.
Yeah, so imagine somebody probably spilled Coke under there.
Yep.
Got under there, adhered to the backside of the overlay, and then just stuck. And then when I took it off, it's just okay, nope, that's got some yellow paint stuck to the thing now. So so I'm gonna use that on my Popeye, and
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, and I know Popeye doesn't get a lot of love, but it's a super fun game.
I like Popeye. I do. I love the game.
It's a good looking machine too.
So yeah,
the art is good.
It's a Nintendo machine, right?
The art is good. That's the best thing you can say about Popeye. you pretty much nailed it on the head there.
It's got olive oil and Bluto, and so you're
perfect candidate for a Donkey Kong conversion. That's for sure.
Even if it has a Popeye serial number. Is there really, Dan?
Yeah.
It's a good candidate for a meme.
So let's talk a little bit about how the Fix It Felix stuff got out. I'm really interested to hear that story, since there were only 20? What were there even 20 Fix It Felixes made?
Well,
how'd that happen?
Something total, I think. Well, basically, it started with, of course, Disney showcased it. I can't remember what show it was. They showcased it in a Pac-Man cabinet, I think it was. And the Google images came out, and you could see them, this Fix It Felix game. Everybody knew the movie was coming out, but no one seen the cabinet coming. Well, all of a sudden, they showed the cabinet it was like a Pac-Man cabinet. Huh. And then a couple weeks later, all of a sudden, I seen it in a Nintendo cab on Google. So immediately, I was like, I gotta draw this up. So I took Google pictures, the best ones I could, and just started drawing it as accurate as I could.
On Nintendo.
And then basically I'm really good friends with Bad Boy Bill, who, I don't know if you guys heard of Hyperspin. It's like a front end for emulation. I flew down to Vegas, and then we went to California Extreme together, got to know each other really well. He's a cool guy, and he said that he will write his version of Felix, because the only one at the time that was running was one in California that was at Disneyland. And so he went there like every day, took video of this game, and I don't know if he beat the game, but he knew it had kill screen, all this, and he took video of it, and he recreated the game in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Time. Not only did he recreate it, he recreated it, but he had like more options in this game than the actual Disney version. I mean, he made this thing awesome. So I got the artwork done at about the same time that he got done with the game. Right at that time, Midwest Gaming Classic was going to be like within 2 weeks from that time. So we were in a rush to get it done for Midwest Gaming Classic. And that's when it first got shown to the public. And it was huge. I mean, I had someone interview me for like the TV station there, and podcasts, 2 different podcasts I was on, and it blew up out of nowhere. And then I offered the files for free online, and everybody started making their own Felixes. All the other printer guys started selling the artwork, and just took off from there. And that's when Disney caught on and seen that I was doing that, sent me the email.
Oops.
Jerks.
Yep.
I mean,
I think I don't know really what happened with Bad Boy Bill, but I think they told him to cease and desist, because he won't even talk about it anymore, as far as I know.
Well, have no fear. The 10 listeners we have tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about it.
We're probably good. So, cool thing. I went to Disney Quest a couple years ago, and I was in there. They have sort of a retro arcade floor.
Yep.
It's shrunk. But when I went up to the one floor that had the classic arcade games, they had literally like 10 Fix-It Fila machines. They're all Nintendo cabinets that had been some sort of Donkey Kong or Popeye. They were all blue. And they had all had like these fake... they basically aged the machines and made them look weathered.
Yep.
With screwy things that would never happen, like big huge circles around the joystick where your hand would never go, or like wear marks and parts of the machine that you would never really touch. But it made it look vintage, more vintage than it already was.
That's what I did with the Felix that's here right now. I put cigarette burns in the control panel, actual cigarette burns, and we took brand new graphics, brand new paint. We made it look brand new, and then we scratched the crap out of it. Made it look awesome, like made it look old and authentic.
And I think that's cool. You just have to do it in a way that is convincing to collectors, I think. Most people wouldn't know, right? They're like, oh, that looks real. That was a real game. Pretty sure Fix-It Fila was around in like 1983. I'm pretty sure,
Well, there's a guy on the Cloud forums who was part of that whole project. I talked to him a couple times. Can't remember his name, but the first 5 cabinets, I guess, from what his story was, first 5 cabinets, Disney actually used Donkey Kongs, and everybody got really mad about it on Club and all these other forums. And so the next 50 cabinets they made were from scratch. Put in all the movie theaters and stuff. That's the story I was told by somebody.
So the Donkey Kong cabinets that they put into theaters, you think are repros?
Yep. They're all made from scratch, and you can tell when you open them up. And there's differences from the original, but
they're made out of lead or something.
Yep. And then I know when I was at what was it? I don't remember where I was, but I was talking to Billy Mitchell. I mean, everybody knows Billy Mitchell, but he had a Fix-It Felix.
He and I talk like regularly.
Yeah, he had a Fix-It Felix, and I was like, dude, what happened with the Fix-It Felix that sold for like $20,000 in Florida? And I knew it was his, and I asked him about it. He's like, that was all just for publicity. No Fix-It Felix sold for $20,000. That's what he told me. So
I agree.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I believe him about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's when everybody freaked out about it. That's when everybody's like, oh, I gotta go Fix-It Felix and sell it and make $1 gazillion, and they skyrocketed. I'm not gonna say I sold anything.
I remember seeing them on Craigslist here for $2,500 back when you could get a Dig Dug for $200. I was like, what the hell?
I'm not going to say who sold any, but I've personally seen about 6 of them sell for $3,500 a piece. So,
Yeah.
not saying names, but
Canada.
But and then another part of the story is so Bad Boy Bill, he made his version.
Hold up. I'm getting some feedback here. I don't know what's going on here. Padawan John, are you wearing headphones?
Yeah, he's got a headset.
How about you?
Yeah, they're both like a Logitech gaming.
Did you hear that? It's like, holy crap. It's like, you sound awesome. It sounds like a robot or something, you know?
I don't hear it. I mean, I sound normal to mine, but.
Dan, you're wearing a headset, right?
Well, you know, I try to be semi-professional, so yeah.
Weird. Okay. Anyway, go ahead with your story.
Anyway, about a week or two after Midwest Gaming Classic, I think it was, is when Disney, I'm pretty sure Disney did, they leaked their version, and then some place called like Code Mystics or something.
Okay.
Said that they're the creators of the actual game for Disney, and then they leaked the version. This is from what I was told.
Yeah.
And that's the version that everybody uses right now in their cabinets. The only person who has the Bad Boy Bill version is me and him. I've never given it to anyone.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not. It's great. I have it. I played sometimes, but I like the Disney version a little better just because there's too many options on his version that I can turn on and off, and it doesn't make it authentic.
Yeah. Well, and the only version I ever played, well, no, that's not true. At Disney Quest, I played the one that was at Disney, and then I played. There's one for iOS. You can download.
Oh yeah, yep, I played that one.
And I think it's fun.
It's a good game. Definitely fun. There's another one, a Sega Genesis version too. That's ported to Sega Genesis. That's really fun too.
Huh.
That's actually one of them that a lot of people are putting in their cabinets.
You know, it's interesting. We talked about Genesis on the last episode, and I just saw the HD graphics 16-bit, original Model 1 Sega Genesis at Pawn Shop today. And it was, $25. But I already have one, so
I thought about you, buddy. There's someone down in Peru or something like that that's actually remaking the original 16-bit Genesis. And they're selling them, but they're not selling them to the United States. I just saw it on Engadget or one of those tech sites yesterday or today.
Basically pirating the hardware and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it looks identical in every way.
But they can't sell it here because, illegal.
Interesting.
That's cool. Hey, you know what?
Retro NES tomorrow, by the way. So heads up to that.
Sweet. Wait.
Awesome.
Wait. So, are we supposed to do some news or something now?
No. Just throwing that out there.
Because I haven't even introduced anybody, really. I was like, okay,
really.
welcome to the show, Rick. And welcome to... What? I didn't even tell anybody what day it is. Like, people are probably listening right now going, what day is this?
I feel like maybe you've had a cocktail.
Or maybe. Don't be so accusatory. I mean, we've only done 2 shows and we're already having this controversy. This is very, it's like, yeah, just leave me alone.
Why don't you ask the caller to call us back now and then hang up on him?
Wait, hey, very fun. I turned off the volume for the caller. He can call all he wants now, and I just ignore him. And I'll laugh at him. I'll just start giggling. Yeah, just maybe. I'm throwing a little Yoda. Anyway, so he's not. So anyway, Dan Reed, the legendary Dan Reed, is my co-host on today's show, November 10th, 2016. We're already like half hour into the show, aren't we?
Yeah, it's pretty late at this point.
Like the introductions just don't really work at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole show is off now. Just off. And I would do some really good voice right now, saying something like Dan Reed News stuff.
Sing a song, please.
I just did. Dan, tell us the news.
No news.
What?
I don't think there's
I've got
anything
news.
really, arcade related other than the Retro NES is coming out, and I'm pretty pumped about that. That's tomorrow. Mark your calendar. Go to Best Buy and pick that up because that is a cool little thing.
It's got like 30 games in it.
Someone is selling a Mystic Marathon prototype cab on Clav, which is interesting because
What's a Mystic Marathon?
For ridiculous money. I see nothing much new on This Old Games website.
Good. We're not talking to him today. We're talking to Rick.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm looking around at all the different art sites here. I'm trying to come up with some news.
So I have some news. MGC is coming up next spring, right? That's really cool. Except for like they're running out of hotel rooms already. That's how popular this thing is.
Yeah.
That's news, isn't it?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you don't know what MGC, it's Midwest Goof.
Gaming Classic.
Gary. What is it?
Gaming Classic.
Geriatric. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Oh, I do have some news actually. MoMA auction.
MoMA.
Yeah. And they actually have a Return of the Jedi there. And I think
that's MoMA. That's American auctions, right? Or American something or other, right?
There's 6 days left, and this Return of the Jedi with a broken board is already up to $350.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are out of their minds right now.
It was like 200 when I looked, and I was thinking about bidding, but then I was like, then I would have to play Return of the Jedi.
I do
How much are the crazy taxes?
I got a sad confession.
There is a crazy taxi, actually.
Yeah. Brian showed me the auction. He was gonna from Paradise. He was gonna try to get the Return of the Jedi, but
Return of the Jedi is not worth it. Sorry. It's like
says the guy with a frickin' Popeye.
who wants? Hey, hey! Popeye's a much more fun game than Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, right.
Like,
up the ladder, up the
first of all,
ladder, collect the heart, down the ladder.
Everybody in the room, raise your hand if you like to play Zaxxon. I thought so.
I don't even want to talk about my Zaxxon I had 2 months ago.
You had a Zaxxon?
I got a Zaxxon, and it had Planet of the Robot Monsters in it, which is I've been looking for a long time.
Wait a minute. You had a Zaxxon with a different game in it?
Amazing shape, and I had it sitting outside. I had no room in my storage unit. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I had no room for the cabinet. I gutted it, and it sat outside. Got rained on. The next day, it was completely ruined for the most part, and I threw it in the garbage. A really nice Zaxxon cabinet went by.
You have failed me for the last time.
Yeah. That's my only
terrible
cabinet abuse I've ever done. That I admit, anyways. But I do hate the game. I loved it when I was a child, but I hate it now.
Zaxxon?
Yeah, I absolutely.
Yeah, so Return of the Jedi is the same thing, only it's Star Wars themed. It's a 3/4, fly, light, what are those little things? Speeder bikes through the woods, crash into them, die, and your quarter's gone in like 20 seconds.
I think I want it just because the cabinet's cool. That's probably about it.
Yeah, the cabinet's like Major Havoc, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but the game is not that good. It's frustrating. There isn't even Ewoks in it. There just simply are no Ewoks.
There are Ewoks in it.
No.
Oh, yes, there are. In the speeder bike thing, you got to drive your speeder bike over the rope, and then the Ewoks pull up the rope and kill the stormtroopers. So, correction.
Right. Yeah, sorry. Very sorry. Stupid Ewoks. They're not as bad as Jar Jar, though. Imagine if that game had Jar Jar in it.
Oh, man. I'd sell it better.
Misa ruined the game. Yeah. All right, enough about that. What else is up for sale in that auction? I saw NASCAR. Well, not NASCAR. What was it?
I just want the Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi's cool. Yeah.
I saw a millipede cabinet that I was thinking of picking up if it went cheap enough just to convert it to a Agent X, but I just don't want to. The problem is these games are going to go for like $500-$600.
I thought you already had an Agent X.
I do, but it's in a dagger or it's in a Defender cabinet.
Oh.
So I think it'd be kind of fun to put it in an original Crystal Castle style cabinet.
I didn't realize that you hadn't chosen an original cabinet for it. You're just kind of doing your own thing.
No, I mean, when they made Cloak and Dagger, it was a conversion for Defender, Stargate, and something else. I can't remember.
Don't fail me again.
This Darth Vader character is very mean. I just want you to know I'm not pressing any buttons. He's just been talking the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what were we talking about anyway? So we were talking about news, and that's it? That's all of our news?
Yeah.
So we should probably get back to our guest interview. I just smacked my glasses against my mic. Did everybody hear that? It was good. So, do you work Rick, do you work primarily with solvent inkjet, or do you do any sort of silk screen or anything, or what do you do? What's your...
It's Echo Solvent, which is safe to run in my house.
Okay.
Without the bad chemicals stuff. But I have Echo Solvent vinyl where I can do T-shirts and stuff, which I do just for friends and family.
And do they hold up?
Not bad. I mean, it isn't like screen printing, obviously, but
right.
Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. It's if you have a really huge print on your shirt, it feels kind of plasticky, kind of like crap. But if it's something smaller, like wording and stuff, it feels. I mean, it looks pretty good. It feels decent. I mean,
does it hold up in the wash?
Yeah, I've probably washed my arcade skin shirt maybe 20 or 30 times now, and it still looks new. So it's holding up. I mean,
that's cool. Yeah. Do you have any designs on doing like big projects where you got to send them out to somebody else to do the work, or you kind of just do your stuff?
I did some T-shirts for Tim McVeigh for his Nibbler movie.
We just talked about that last episode.
Nibbler.
Yeah, Nibbler. A couple for a guy named Kenneth Jeffrey. Did some T-shirts for him for stuff.
Yep. Cool.
That's it. And then some for myself and my daughter. But that's about it.
What do you charge?
Not much. It's cheap. I mean, Hobby Lobby sells the shirts for like $3.
Wow.
And the vinyl to put on a shirt, really, I mean, with the print and everything, probably costs a couple bucks. So there isn't much money into it. So
yeah, I've done business with Vistaprint quite a bit.
Yeah. Yep.
They've raised their prices quite a bit over the last 2 years, but when they run their 50% off sale, I kind of jump in on that. And speaking of which, we're going to have some cool Arcade Radio shirts coming up pretty soon.
Awesome.
So what do you find challenging from a printing artwork standpoint?
Challenging.
Yeah, like what's the worst thing? Is it like application, or is it just like sometimes you print it and the color's not right, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm not known in the arcade industry, cabinet industry, as being correct on my colors. Basically, I mean, I can be pretty accurate if someone already designed it completely accurate. If I have this thing on my printer where it's called Max Impact. The last two places I worked at doing sign work and stuff, we used the same thing. It's called Max Impact.
Yep.
And it makes the colors pop a lot more. It makes them look just, nicer, more bright. And I use this on a lot of my prints. And it has, I mean, some of the purists really get upset about it. That's why I, usually tell them now that my colors aren't going to be exact original.
Yeah.
But most people love it. Like, for example, John here next to me, he got his Galaga. In his Galaga artwork, the blue was just a better looking blue than the original. It wasn't too much off, but enough that he noticed. And he's like, you know what? I love this blue. Like, this is awesome. It pops more. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of my settings I use on the printer. But
was that on a bezel, or was it where was the blue?
It was the control panel overlay.
Yeah, and the kick panel
okay.
too, wasn't it? Well, you want me to do a kick panel for you? That's what it is. But yeah, it was the control panel overlay that blue was on. Yep.
On a Galaga?
Yep.
You have a Galaga that works?
I'm hoping.
Trying to get it working.
I hate those boards.
Yep.
Oh man, don't say that.
They're Namco boards. It's Namco, right? Galaga.
Midway.
Yeah, they distributed it, but yeah, they're essentially Namco boards with a lot of custom chips. They're a pain in the butt.
Well, I had a really cool guy that had a board, and he he didn't know if it worked or not, so he's like, "Hey, I'll send it to you. If it works, pay me. If it doesn't, send it back." So
that's nice.
Go ahead.
No, that's nice. I was just saying, cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool of him. So I got my fingers crossed.
I have a bunch of Galaga boards. I'll just send you.
I need one.
I don't think any of them work.
Need that and a Miss Pac-Man.
I have a working Miss Pac-Man. I
sold my boards a couple years ago before the prices went crazy on them.
I didn't know they were crazy. What do you? I'll sell you mine for like $400. Is that good?
How very claw of you.
So, all right.
Now that you said that, tomorrow on claw, everything's gonna be skyrocketed.
Don't get me wrong. I love Clove. You know.
Yeah.
They're
not the cause of the high prices. I'm pretty sure it's the barcades and stuff that has caused all this craziness and the prices.
Well, also I think there's the next generation of collectors is coming in, right? So
yeah,
all the kids that grew up in the 90s are all of a sudden like, I need a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know.
Yep.
I need a Simpsons, and you know, so that's cool, you know. And then they're like, ooh, I could use a Pac-Man or a Galaga, you know.
Yep.
And then you have the traditionally just expensive games anyway, like Tron and Star Wars, you know, because they're licensed properties that aren't just coveted by arcade collectors. They are people that want the Star Wars to go with their Star Wars collection, you know.
That's exactly what I do with my Star Wars. I like the game, but I want it just because it's Star Wars.
That's awesome. I have a Star Wars. I bought this year. I bought a vintage 1977 Millennium Falcon.
Awesome.
A toy by Kenner, fully restored with all the parts.
Nice.
Sits on top of my Star Wars as the topper. So it's kind of fun. I'm going to hang it from the ceiling.
I can tell you a horror story about that exact same toy that happened. I seen it on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah.
Someone took that original toy and cut it all open and put a Raspberry Pi in it, made it his custom Raspberry Pi. He just chopped it to pieces. I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he should have got a new one. You could buy at Walmart instead of taking the old original.
Well, the thing I find interesting about stuff like that, including arcade games. Okay, so people do horrifying things to arcade games, right?
Yep.
Well, by collector standards, and we're the kind of guys that get bent out of shape about, oh my gosh, I can't believe you took that Berserk and turned it into a meme. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, more power to you. Either somebody like Brad Lutz or Sean Williams or Chris Rhodes or yourself or Dan Reed will buy that machine and turn it back into what it was supposed to be, or it's one less Berserk machine in the wild, so all the other Berserk machines are worth more.
Yeah.
So there's two ways to look at it.
I'm not going to buy your Berserk. No.
It's good because I don't really have one.
I don't really want it. And I'm going to leave it a main machine. So there.
What do you mean you don't want a Berserk? Everybody wants a Berserk. Right?
I put it right next to my Popeye, so there's that.
Oh my god. What's even? It's just a hate on Popeye. It's like, oh my gosh. Hey Popeye, get Popeye out of here. It's a piece of crap. Don't vote for. Never mind.
So what's everybody's thoughts on taking an empty cabinet, completely empty shell, and making it something else?
What's a cabinet?
It wasn't. Cabinet as in, I took a Missile Command, completely empty, no parts at all, and I turned it into a Journey.
No marquee?
A little mini cabaret Journey.
That wasn't a Missile Command. That was a Monaco GP.
Oh, Monaco GP, yeah. Never mind. Yeah. No, I got Missile Command. I turned into, I had to empty one of those to turn into Planet of the Wet Monsters. That's
your Monaco GP Mini, I have one. And it's a Monaco GP, and I love it. It's a great game, and I've actually had people offer me lots of money for it. So, cabinet itself, though, it's not worth a lot of money. It's more like the boards to get it running. Padawan John, did you just yawn into the mic?
No.
That was Dan.
No.
Jerk McGurk. Did we get somebody on the phone? Anyway, so yeah, what's my opinion?
I had to think for a second. I was like, damn, did I just yawn?
It's like somebody's just like, holy crap, this show is boring. And no, the journey is freaking awesome. I think, I said awesome again. Sorry. I did it again. So
thanks.
Yeah.
It was the least played game I own.
It's a great machine. We talked about Journey on the last episode. Dan says it's his favorite game.
No.
What?
No.
It's like the hardest damn game ever made.
Come on. You know you love that game. You made you actually facilitated the making of a board for it. And I'm
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. That's how bad my OCD is.
Oh, you just like
that's it. I have no love for Journey. Other
Star Trek 1 through 4, so now I gotta own Nemesis. Yeah, I hear you.
So I couldn't find that stupid board. So I thought, oh hell, I'll just make the dumb thing. Grabbed the schematics, made the board. Guess what? CD Jump's like, hey dude, you want one of these things? $20.
Yes, stupid cheap.
I was like, all right, great. Now I just made these stupid freaking boards.
I have a bad feeling about this.
It probably cost you a ton of money.
Wow.
But did you get it back?
I did pre-order, so I covered everything and then some pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's good.
But the Journey mini you made, Rick, is beautiful. Yeah. So are you going to sell it to somebody or?
Yeah, it was doing horrible at the arcade bar. I think it got played like twice in 2 months.
It's too bad.
So then I just threw a price on it, and it sold in like 5 minutes to a guy. Drove all the way down from Canada, 11-hour drive, and picked it up. The guy has like over 60 minis, and he collects, cabarets and minis.
Yeah,
and, he's like, if you build any more custom ones, let me know. I'll buy it from you immediately.
Wow. Yeah. It was $500, you said?
I think it was 700.
700. That's a good price.
Yeah. For a Journey, that's a steal.
Yeah. Well, it's custom cabinet with custom art. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, considering I saw a Journey board on eBay the other day sell for $1,800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure you guys will be talking about Journey. You got Brian on here because he's got that one.
Yeah. Well, we know a little bit about that Journey, right, Dan?
Awesome.
What? I couldn't hear him. What was it?
Brian?
Yeah. I actually, I had to use his Journey to test my board. So, yeah, sweet. I know his Journey pretty well. Chris Rhodes restored that bad boy. You could eat off it. It's so clean.
Doesn't everything he do that clean? I mean, everything he's done is like amazing. That guy's work.
Yeah, he does good work. So, tell us a little bit about Spicoli's Rockade.
Just a typical arcade bar in
typical
Iowa. Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy about it, I mean, I try not to focus on the 80s games as much because everybody wants to play the 90s games, apparently.
Interesting.
The four players, I mean, Pac-Man and Galaga just sit there, no one touches them, but Turtles and Simpsons. And
admittedly, Pac-Man and Galaga are not that fun.
Yeah, but when you think of a classic, when someone who doesn't know much about, the old school games, they think of Pac-Man, Donkey Kong.
Do you have a Missile Command?
No.
Do you have Tempest?
Nope.
Robotron?
No vector games. I got a multi-Williams in there, and it's funny because I threw it in there and I knew nobody would know how to run that thing.
Yeah.
And nobody does. Nobody. It never gets played.
That's the trouble with multis, right? Like they just like get in front of them and they're like,
Yep. So now I'm going to turn it back into a joust.
Yeah.
Make it joust.
So you don't have a joust, but that'll become a joust.
Yep.
Defender.
Talk about that one you built.
He can hear you.
Talk about that. Why don't you build?
I have one that I built that's I took a House of the Dead pedestal, an empty House of the Dead.
Oh.
And I made a, what do you call it? Like a big monitor stand on the back.
You're laughing at me.
On it.
He's laughing at me because I'm like,
a huge 4-player game.
That's wonderful. What's House of the Dead?
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I got mostly. I mean, I have a little bit of everything in there. I don't have any vector games or black and whites.
Yeah.
Just whatever that makes the people at the bar happy, because we're actually the only arcade bar that I know of that has live music.
How far away from Walter's house?
Walter House, 3 or 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
Has he been out there?
No,
Oh, that'd be cool.
he knows about it.
So tell us how you and it's Spicoli's, right?
Yep.
So that's your
Spicoli's
business.
Rockade.
Yeah, that's your business partner.
Actually, 2 buddies of mine own the bar. They've had the bar for like 8 years.
Okay.
And they found out that I was looking around town to start an arcade bar, and they wanted to beat me to it by asking me to join. To put it in their bar because they didn't want to. They wanted to do an arcade bar, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna have competition if that happens. So let's hurry up and find Rick." And I talked to them, and it made sense because I like their bar a lot. And so
do they have live music there?
Yeah, live music while you play some games. Yep.
That's pretty sweet, actually. I mean, like, I don't know of a lot of other arcades that have live music and arcade games.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's the only one. I've looked everywhere. I don't think there's any other ones. Des Moines, Uptown has live music upstairs.
Oh.
And they got arcades downstairs. But
yeah, our Uptown does not have live music as far as I know.
I think it does.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I think so. Out in their little patio area.
Oh.
Do they still have the Fix-It Felix and Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt stuff there?
Mm-mm.
No.
I think.
I did a lot of their Nintendo caddies.
They might have a Fix-It Felix there.
Fix-It Felix. I feel like we talked about that already.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So, also, you were mentioning to me something about a new website?
Yeah, a couple of buddies of mine, we figured we do a lot of custom arcades, but we don't get the attention that some of us think we deserve about it.
I think Padawan.
Oh, who you know?
Padawan's breathing again.
Yeah.
He's like over there going,
I'm not doing nothing.
It's not me.
Oh, sweet.
He didn't even have the microphone near him.
Blame me.
But no, yeah, we're calling it Arcade Modders.
Arcade what?
Just Modders.
Modders. ArcadeModders.com?
Yep.
Okay.
And I just got the site up and going. It's still a mess right now, but basically it's just for us to do some custom projects.
I swear to God, we have a gremlin on the show. It's like somebody's in the corner going,
Maybe John gave his dog a headset. Headset? No. But yeah, it's just.
Oh, I know what it is. The mic is down here. It's rubbing on my shoulder if I turn my.
It's rubbing on your what?
Shoulder.
My shoulder.
Bend it upward. You might look floppy there.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Anyways, yeah, just a website for me and some friends to have and do some custom projects. And,
so is it going to be e-commerce? Like, can you like order stuff on there?
No, but I got links to obviously my site. I got links to Paradise Arcade stuff on there.
Oh, cool. So it's almost like a hub for restoration goods.
Yep. And I'm going to have I want to be the first to have a separate page that actually gives you the real dimensions of like the marquee, the bezel, control panel stuff.
Is it going to be like a configurator page where you can like say, like for instance, I am looking for art for a missile command. I plug in a missile command and it shows me, or is it just going to have like static dimensions?
Yeah, just a list with dimensions on what they are.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because even myself, I'll make a bunch of brand new bezels for like a game, and after I sell all of them, I'll forgot to write down the damn dimensions, and I don't have that cabinet, so I have to ask my friends with the cabinet what the dimensions are. So basically, I'm going to make this site have all the dimensions of everything, of just those products like the bezel and the marquee and stuff. And then also we can just little forum pretty much to show off our work, stuff that we're trying to do with LED T-molding and just
dude, I love that stuff. That LED T-molding is so cool on a Tron.
It's the hardest stuff
I was just gonna say, I have one last Tron that I'm restoring. I've restored 2, and my third one is in the garage. I have all the parts for it except for one little set of art that I need to get from Phoenix, and then I was thinking doing LED T-molding for that thing.
It's quite something to work with. I can tell you that. It's extremely stiff stuff. I mean, it's really hard to go around even the simple curve. And there's a few ways it's like, do you put the LED T molding in first and then try to go around the curves, or do you get the LED T molding put on the cabinet first and then slide the LEDs in? I mean,
but the channel is still like standard plastic, right?
Yeah, the channel's inside the molding, and it's a pretty decent sized channel, but the LED strips, they fit in there really snug. So if you have too much of a curve, you can't get that LED strip all the way through.
So
But what I did to screw it up was I was trying to go around the curves, and I pounded it down with my hand, and I dented the T molding, and then now the LED strip wouldn't go through that where that was dented.
Sure.
It was a pain in the butt, but overall it looks amazing, but it was just a pain in the butt.
So my theory of application, never having used it, it would be to like, so what you're saying is the LEDs can go in afterward.
They can if you don't. Honestly, I think the easiest way to do it is put the LEDs in first.
Okay.
And get everything in by hand. But the other issue is the slot itself is so much thicker than all the T molding slots on your cabinets.
Okay.
So pounding it on by hand is not going to work.
Well, so the interesting thing is most of the time I end up using a X-Acto knife or a knife to cut the channel off when I get to a bend that it's not going to work quite right.
Yep, glue it.
Yeah, well, I don't even glue it. I just, because the other parts hold it in place. So if your channel's, there are some games that the channel is so worn that, you have to glue or, widen it. But what you're telling me is that the slot on the T molding is already so thick that I should be able to just cut away parts of it and then have the rest of it held in place by,
Oh yeah. Once you pound that T molding in, it's not coming out.
Yeah. Interesting.
Someone else that I know just installed on his cabinet, he had to get a thicker T molding bit, or whatever you call that, T slot bit. And then it went on normal, but it was really tough to get it on. I was pounding at it pretty good. I was to the point where I thought I was going to break the wood. I mean, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, and then where does it get power from, and how much power?
It's just 12 volt, so you can just run it from the 12 volt power supply.
So it must be pretty bright.
Run quite a few strips off it, at least 2 or 3 strips, and each strip's like 10 foot, 15 foot long. So
Rick, would you say that it's maybe even too bright? You know what I mean? Is it when the T molding's all lit up, it's in a dark arcade, is it distracting?
It can be. I think if I would have wrapped it around my control panel, it might have been. Because another problem is the stuff's not frosted enough. The T molding itself should be a little bit more frosted, kind of the blur out that brightness in your face a little more.
Sure.
But it was not bad. I mean, it's not horrible. It definitely is the fanciest arcade in the bar. I mean, it gets everybody's attention because all the lights going crazy. But
yeah, that's cool.
Because I got to keep up with my buddy's pinballs he has in there, all of his new pinballs. So I was like, well, I want one of my arcades that have flashy lights, and look cool. But it's worth it though. It's cool. It's just expensive.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I really want to do that sometime.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's worth it. It is.
So
there's different LED strips out there. Brian was telling me about these new ones where you can control each individual LED, kind of like he's like, you got to get those because I bought the 50/50.
Your own laser light show.
Brian, I brought down. So Chris Rhodes has these poker machines he buys that he calls Lord Helmet, and they're pretty much just tabletop with a little maybe 13-inch CRT in them.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Pull them out. You can pull the top off it and gut them. And turn them into little MAME machines or little, put a 60 in one in there or something. But I brought it down to Brian and I'm like, hey, I need a joystick for this thing and a couple buttons. And he's like, oh yeah. Like $200 later, I walk out of the store and I have these lighting up buttons and this joystick that lights up. He went crazy with it.
Yeah, I did the same thing when I visited Brian's place. They talked me into getting all the RGB joysticks and buttons and all that stuff. Expensive, but it's worth it. Looks pretty cool.
He's got a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, guy. He's has so many products he hasn't even put on his website yet. He has actual arcade buttons that are like maybe a fourth of the size. So tiny, but they're legit mini arcade buttons.
Well, that's what Rhodes is putting into his little mini things, is these tiny little buttons.
Yeah, he's got a lot of products in there that he hasn't found a store yet. I don't know when he's going to get to it. I know he's pretty busy all the time.
So, Padawan John, what are you working on besides Galaga?
I just finished Miss Pac-Man, and then I've got the Captain America and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh,
yeah, they should be done this week.
Yeah.
And then I've got a 4-player X-Men, and then
Sweet.
A Nintendo cabinet in line. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
Don't turn it into a Popeye.
Ice Climber.
I'm telling you right now, no Popeye.
That was my first choice, but since we've been talking about that,
Nobody wants
I was
a Popeye,
gonna
apparently.
either do a Fix-It Felix or
That'd be fun.
Gradius dedicated,
Yeah.
or possibly talk Rick into doing one of those retro pies for me and just do a TurboGrafx 16 cabinet.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
He's got this game he loves called Fu Manchu or something like that, or Chu Man Fu.
Chu Man Fu. It's the greatest game ever.
He's like, do you think it'll be stupid if I make my Nintendo cabinet Fu Manchu? I'm like, well, everybody uses Nintendo cabs for everything nowadays anyway, and it's an empty cab. Why not? I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many empty Nintendo cabs around. It seems like.
Well, I'm looking for a blue one. So if you come across one that's in good shape and it's blue,
okay,
it's got to be a Donkey Kong cereal though. So
they're getting a little harder to get now. I think I dried out the well around this area.
Well, it's funny at MGC. I saw you. I had a room on the first floor, and I watched you carry one into the building on the last day, and it was from Chris Rhodes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, our first. Yeah, we had at least 3 pinballs and 4 arcades at our hotel room.
Yeah.
Every year we get a double room, like the big guest suite, so we can put arcades inside of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always working deals with people, usually exchanging graphics for arcades, and then I just pick them up at MGC.
That's a great deal.
I regret it every year. As long as these years, I'm going to go down there with just a car, be happy, play some games.
Well, I drove home with an empty trailer, which was I had mixed feelings about it. I wish I could have dumped the trailer there, but I didn't plan for it.
The year before last, I locked the keys to my truck in the trailer with all the arcades. So when everybody left Sunday night, I had to buy one more night, another room for Sunday night. And then Monday, I had to walk, a mile and a half to their Ace Hardware and buy some bolt cutters. Yeah, I have a little video of it somewhere, but it was terrible. It was horrible. Nobody around could help me. No one had bolt cutters, nothing.
Oh, well.
So don't lock your keys in your trailer.
Yeah, no, don't lock your keys in your car, period, right?
John, did you stencil your Ms. Pac?
No, I bought some old vinyl. It was the first art that I ever purchased, and I kind of regret it because it's kind of crappy. But it looks good from a distance. It's like a stripper. Looks good. Looks good when the lights are off.
You're okay in my book.
Let's talk about arcades.
That's
How
awesome.
do you restore them? You restore them like a stripper where they look amazing in the dark environment? Get them outside. So like, what?
It's got like a pole on it, is what you're saying?
It's like Tapper. He took the brass pole off and made it go vertical on the machine. Oh, that's awesome. That was the best analogy I've ever heard. I said that's awesome again.
I think
Dang it, I did it again.
Mr. Do Guy at eBay or something. Not to say names, but
So you bought vinyl art from somebody, put it on, and it's done the job, but you're not especially happy with it?
Well, yeah, the guy had it sitting for years, he said, rolled up in a warehouse, and then I bought it, and it sat for a year in a storage unit after I got it.
2 red flags.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
The good thing about having vinyl on the machine is you could just rip it off.
Yep.
So at some point, if you want to go back and stencil it, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, you're still on.
Can't really hear him though.
I think did we lose John?
Yeah, I can hear him through your mic.
Okay, yeah, his laptop died. But yeah, his vinyl the laminate was separating from it because it was so old.
Yeah,
being rolled up. That's what happens, because vinyl only has a shelf life of about a year.
Yeah.
If you don't apply it.
Yeah, I bought some vinyl from my Missile Command that was old, and I had to do a lot of heat gun to it to make it stick to the machine.
Yep.
But it turned out all right. So.
Cool.
Well, listen. Thanks for being on the show. You're my second and third guests.
Awesome. Privilege.
So really, really awesome to have you on the show. I hope to have you on again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and please join us on the next show and listen in, RcadeRadio.com, or you can email us at react@RcadeRadio.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on the game line, 612.
You can't call. Don't believe that. He'll just hang up on you.
Yeah, I will hang up on you. You can call 612-548-GAME, or you can leave us a message before the show. Follow us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/ArcadeRadio, and we're at Arcade Radio on Twitter. So go ahead and tweet us. Again, thanks for being on the show. We'll see you next time.
Bye.